YouTube, how's it going? The GOAT House is back. I got my updated power rankings here for week 18. This is going to be a really quick video here. We're just going to go over the quick rankings very quickly. Still top of my mind and everyone else's mind is Damar Hamlin, hoping he pulls through this. Thoughts and prayers to his family. So we're going to go pretty quick for these power rankings. We still plan on doing our week 18 picks. So I know everyone wants to see the video still, so we're still trying to talk about football here as much as we can, and hoping that everyone stays positive. You know, a lot of people trying to blame people out there. I don't really like that too much. Just top of everyone's mind should be Damar Hamlin and his family. Yeah, so we'll go through these power rankings again. If you want to keep up to date with us, Twitter is probably the best for that, other than YouTube. Link down below for that. Anything else you're looking for. So there's the Week 18 power rankings, and again, we should have our Week 18 picks tonight, Tuesday night still. But not too many changes at the bottom here. 26 through 32 kind of staying put. See some movement for the Rams. Thought they could put up a little bit more fight with the Chargers. Browns move up a spot. It's a pretty good win against the Commanders. The Browns been a little disappointing, especially lately, so not too much movement there. Saints were a tricky one here because they've been pretty impressive, beating the Browns last week and beating the Eagles this week. It was tough to move them up, though, because here we're at the end of the season. And, you know, kind of how it's kind of supposed to end here is the teams ranked based on their regular season play. And I feel like the teams just above the Saints have had a better overall regular season. But the Saints did start to play some better ball at the end of the year, though. The Jets, very disappointing one. I thought they could win that game and stay in the playoff hunt. Seahawks, maybe the worst defense football right now. I thought the Jets could have done a little more damage with their offense, and they could not do that. So not a good one for them. They moved down 4 spots. Titans put up somewhat of a fight with the Cowboys, given the circumstances, but a rough end of the year for the Tennessee Titans. They'll play the Jags on Saturday night. That will be a big game, obviously. Panthers down 3 spots. Disappointing one. Panthers played pretty damn well down the late stretch of the season, and even the first half of this game looked like they had that massive game. Almost, not even want to say wrapped up, but almost wrapped up, and they let it slip away there, and they even had chances at the end, and they continue to let it slip away. So that was a disappointing one. Commanders, disappointing one against the Browns. You know, they were at the bottom of the rankings, and they were as hot as anyone, looked really good, and then kind of ending on the negative side there. Curious to see who they play at quarterback this week. I would hope Sam Howell, but we'll see. Patriots up 4, battle against the Dolphins, a game they should win. But they are alive in that playoff hunt off a win there, so they're up 4 spots to 18. The Bucks are up 2 spots to 17, a big-time win against the Panthers. It was a must-win. They found a way. Once again, it wasn't pretty for several quarters, most of the game, but they found a way there. Brady and Evans connecting in a big way. Defense making plays when it mattered most in the end. Seahawks up 4. That was an impressive one against the Jets because the Jets aren't, even though they've been struggling, it's not an easy team to play with their defense, and the Seahawks did a very good job, but Seahawks did something that we don't really normally see them do a good job with, and that's their defense. Playing against the Jets offense there, held them to 6 points. Pretty impressive. Dolphins down 1 spot. It's tough because of how bad they've been recently with the losing streak. You feel like maybe they're deserving of moving down more. I just think they clearly have been a better regular season team than the Seahawks, Bucks, Patriots, teams like that are just below them. So that's a tricky one, but a must-win this week for the Dolphins. Steelers, second half of the year, been a pretty good football team. They're finding ways to win games. They're playing better on defense. Kenny Pickett's improving, and they're getting going there, so that's good to see, and they are in the playoff hunt still. The Giants had a dominant win over the Colts. Very impressive. They are in the playoffs. Impressive year for them. Ravens down 4 spots to 12. Might have a better record than some teams above them, but the Ravens just haven't been playing good football. And I know Lamar Jackson's been out, and that is a big reason why, but at the end of the day, he's been out, and that's kind of their identity right now. But even when they're winning games, it's not pretty. It's not good football, and they let the Steelers game slip away. So the Ravens move down 4 spots. I do think the teams above them, who have a worse record, are just playing. They're just better teams right now, playing better football. If you get in the playoffs and Ravens have Lamar, are those teams still the better team? Probably not, but probably is the key word there. In the Ravens, just the way they're playing right now, don't love it. Lions at 11, they dominate the Bears. You see the improvement from the last time we've seen the Lions play the Bears in other games until now, up until now, and you see the improvement, so you love that. The Jags dominate the Texans. really with only playing the starters for about a half. Very impressive there at number 10. And then the Packers move up 3 spots. A dominant win over their rival and a team that's been very good on the regular season, the Minnesota Vikings. So the Packers do a really good job there, kind of on all phases making plays. They're up 3 spots to 9. They were kind of stuck in the 20s for a bit. And the number 9 Packers and number 11 Lions will play each other in Lambeau on Sunday Night Football with a massive, massive game. Now, if the Seahawks beat the Rams in that late afternoon slot, then the Lions are just playing spoiler. It wouldn't be like a playoff-like game. But if the Seahawks lose to the Rams, then it's win or go home for both the Packers and the Lions in that Sunday night game. So that could be an epic game there. We'll see. Chargers move up a spot to number 8, so they're into the top 8. The Chargers are one of those teams where they were pretty underwhelming. They were pretty disappointing. They started winning, and it's better, positive, moving up. And I still kind of had my doubts a little bit. Some of those games weren't pretty. But a game like this last week, I was impressed with. The Rams aren't the best team this year, but a pretty good defense. And the Chargers showed they can win in multiple ways. Offensively, they have all these different weapons. Let's use them for a full game. Let's cause some problems, some mismatch problems. So I saw a lot of that from the Chargers, which kind of going into the year, I expect to see that from the Chargers pretty much all year. Of course, you're going to have your games where you slip up, but it really wasn't the case. But, I like what I'm seeing lately. Vikings with a disappointing one against the Packers. They are down 2 spots. Yeah, just an ugly game from the start. Things definitely weren't going their way. Some injuries in the offensive line, allow a kick return for a touchdown. Just didn't really. I know they've had some games where the beginning of the Colts game, I guess, was similar. But other than that, there was some uncharacteristic things based on the rest of the regular season, so that was odd. And they're down 2 spots to 7. Cowboys up a spot. Really wasn't pretty against the Titans. Titans have third stringers, for the most part out there, like a preseason team it looked like. But the Cowboys took care of business. Maybe they didn't have they weren't full throttle. Kind of take it easy a little bit, and we'll get out of this game with the win. The Cowboys recently still have been a little sloppy. Middle of the season they looked a lot better than what they do right now, but they're up a spot. Felt like the Vikings had to move down for their performance. And the Bengals, of course, the Bengals and the Bills did not finish their game. And it's not rescheduled yet or for this week. If it is rescheduled, it'll be in the future. So that's how I was kind of holding off in the power rankings, but because I thought maybe they can play this week and then we can do the power rankings, but they're not going to play this week. Probably the right call there. And, so I went ahead with the power rankings anyways. But the Bengals, didn't finish their game. They started the game pretty well. But I thought they were deserving to move them a spot. We went the Vikings moving down. The Vikings had to move. They had to move down. So that kind of helped the Bengals and the Cowboys move up. Thought about the Cowboys ahead of the Bengals since the Bengals didn't play their Week 17 game left. But just based on how these two teams have been looking recently, I feel like the Bengals deserve to be ahead of them still. Bills stay put at 4. There's no one like the Vikings that need to drop below them like there was for the Bengals. Bills, of course, didn't finish their Week 17 game left yet. So they're at 4. The Eagles lost 2 in a row. Yep, it's not the full Eagles, the playoff Eagles, the Eagles that have been the most dominant team in the regular season so far. But they did lose 2 in a row. They were pretty damn sloppy against the Saints. It didn't really feel right. They definitely need Hurts back in there, but it didn't feel right. So losing 2 in a row, you got to drop them down a bit there. And the Chiefs, really the Niners and Chiefs weren't pretty this week. So I thought about not moving things at all, but the Eagles lost 2 in a row. Chiefs beat the Broncos. Some kind of matchup issue there. They rather play better teams than maybe the Broncos, but they find a way to win. They're up a spot. Been a really good team this year. And the Niners go up a spot, and they've probably been the hottest or maybe the best team over the last several weeks. And they were a little sloppy against the Raiders. Their defense didn't really show up, and it was odd. It was a very odd thing to see. But what I do like is when things aren't going their way, find different ways to win. The offense goes up, puts big points up on the board, and the defense still made plays to win the game. But so I kind of like that, kind of adjusting a little bit and winning in different ways and finding a way. The Niners overall have been the hottest team in football. I mean, the best looking team in football, again, over the last several weeks. So I felt pretty good about them being at number 1. So those are my thoughts on the teams here entering the final week. And those are the power rankings here entering the final week. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Any link you're looking for, we got it pinned in the comment section as well. So check it out. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you enjoy our content. That is going to do it for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.